You are welcome to Solve for Math. In this episode, we are covering some of the questions that we received. Today, let's look at this question. Form a quadratic equation whose roots are -1, minus or plus I, where I is equal to a root of -1. So to form a quadratic equation, we know very well that the general quadratic equation is of the form x squared minus the sum of roots times x plus the product of roots equaling to 0. So if our roots are known, like in this case we know our roots were given as -1 minus I, and then the other root is -1 plus I. These are the two roots. So we can use these roots to find the sum of the roots and then the product of roots, and then substitute in this general equation. So what's the sum of roots? The sum of these roots, we simply add -1 minus I plus -1 plus I. If we simplify, this is -1. If you try to collect like terms, minus -1, then -I plus I. And you see that this and this go, so we remain with a -2. So the sum of roots is -2. What about the product? The product is equal to -1 minus I into -1 plus I. And we see that this is a difference of two squares. This is a difference of two squares. So it means this is a -1 squared minus our I squared. So in simplifying, -1 squared is a 1 minus, you remember they gave us at the end of the question that our I is actually equal to a square root of -1. So we can substitute where there is I and we put a square root of -1. So this is like square root of -1 squared. And you see that this 2 goes with this square root. So we remain with a 1 minus a -1, which is a 2. So we've gotten the sum of roots and then the product of roots. Now we substitute in our general equation. Our general equation says x squared minus our equation that gives us these as the roots, -1, -I, and -1 plus I, is x squared minus the sum of roots, which we've got as a -2, and then there is x here, then plus the product of roots, which we got as a 2, equals to 0. On simplifying, this becomes x squared plus a 2x plus 2 equals to 0. This is the quadratic equation that gives us these as its roots. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe.